Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. And Automotive Art Cayman, your car, our passion. And by Dorman Day, celebrating 10 years of opening doors to brighter futures. Visit dormanday.ky.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local environment. This is where we address the topics that matter. Here's your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome to The Buzz. I am your host, Kathy Miller. We're starting off a little spicy this Thursday morning. That's behind the scenes here in Radioland. What can I say? Oh, did you hear that laugh? You know things are getting hot on a Thursday morning so early. Thank you for making me laugh so early. I'm saying this to my guest, who's Desiree Powery Tatum, president of Autism Cayman.
Well, it's my birthday today.
What?
Yes.
Hey!
So it's a great way to celebrate.
Oh, wow. So I can't believe this forces me to somewhat sing Happy Birthday to you. Join in, Susan.
You.
I can't do this alone, Susan. Susan, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Desiree. Happy birthday to you.
Yay.
Toot, 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 toot.
Thank
and
you.
many more. Yes, you're welcome. Susan did sing. I know you didn't have your headphones on, but she did sing.
Sorry.
Susan, I didn't know you had that kind of a voice. All sorts of things are happening this morning. All right, I hope everybody's having an entertaining drive into work right now. That's for sure. We're not here to talk about birthdays, though. We are here to talk about Autism Cayman. And they were established 28th of February, 2024 as a nonprofit organization. Their objectives are to promote autism acceptance in the Cayman Islands and to provide community-based support, information, and advocacy to autistic people and their families and or carers in allegiance with all autistic persons in the Cayman Islands. So, good morning, Desiree.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Thank you for having me today.
No problem. So you guys were just formed. It's almost been a year.
Yeah. Well, February we publicly launched. We were incorporated about a year ago. Yeah, in February of 2024. But we've been an organization for 2.5 years. Yeah, so 2023 is when we started.
Okay.
It started as a group of parents coming together, trying to find a collective way to have an impact for our children within the Cayman community. And just, because, at the end of the day, doing it in isolation, a lot of us found that we weren't having the same kind of impact or being able to kind of get the things that we need for our children, our loved ones. And so that's kind of where the conversation started. And we came together. We started to meet formally as a board every month. And we did that for up until we incorporated, until we launched this year. We're super excited. So we built a strong foundation as a charity to begin with. And I think that's kind of helped us over the last several months to kind of have the impact that we've already had.
Okay, wonderful. For me, I'm surprised that it hasn't been that long because autism is it's a prevalent thing.
Yes.
And not a lot of people know so much about it or are curious and kind of they're a little misinformed about what autism is.
Yeah.
Can you give us just a bit of a brief description?
Right. So I'm not a doctor, but so it's a neurological developmental issue, and it's usually, it is a lifelong condition, and it affects communication sometimes. It affects social interactions, and it's a wide spectrum. So there's a lot of children or individuals on the spectrum. They might have more profound needs versus other individuals who may not have the same kind of profound needs. But I guess the biggest thing is ensuring that they have the best quality of life, even with all those challenges that they may face. Right. And
from my experience, at one time I did look after an autistic child, and the way their communication was really difficult. They weren't able to use words.
Right.
But the way that they communicated through art.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, we might look at some development issues, but we don't always look at the creative and the other beautiful side that children, or not just children, that people with autism might have.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me in that sense. There is a brilliance there that we don't always recognize.
And sometimes you're right. People don't recognize it, especially if depending on how profound the need is. You can sometimes, I remember my own experience seeing a lot of the negative things, especially when my son was a toddler. And he is nonverbal. But even yesterday, I was joking around with some of his family members. I was like, you know what? He reminds me of Bumblebee. Because whenever people come over, he starts to play YouTube videos. But when you listen to the lyrics, he's actually speaking in a way about what's going on emotionally with him or what he's feeling through the words. So I find that he tends to do things like that. So it's very interesting, the way that they communicate, like you said, either through art or through music or lots of different ways. Definitely that's something that the children, especially those who are nonverbal, they start to adapt, and they really, really want to be able to be a part of, the world around them.
Right.
Yeah. And
I know you kind of went over a little bit about why the organization started, group parents coming together, but with your mission with Autism Cayman, what do you really want to inform and make Cayman aware about when it comes to autism?
I think the biggest thing for me as a parent, and also being a part of charity and just having these conversations more and more and more with adults, people that have children, not only young children, but even those who have gone through that journey and now their children are adults, but they're still dependent on them in some way. I think the biggest thing is ensuring that there's inclusion and they're accepted within our community and they have access to the same services that everyone else or every other individual has access to, and then finding that purpose for them too, because you might think of it like me, when my son was 3 or 4 years old, I wasn't thinking, what is his purpose going to be when he's an adult? But as the journey has progressed, he was 14 2 days ago. I'm like, that is on my mind all the time. Like, what is he going to do with his time once he reaches adulthood? But just before that, obviously, the education, getting all the therapies, access, and just basic things within our community, I think is huge for the autism community.
I would agree, and there's little that I know, but especially when you said like your son is nonverbal,
right?
So how do the students communicate, right? So when you're in school and you have your educators, and they might be in specialized classes or schools, and I understand that, right? Because it's specific to help draw out their skills and develop them differently, right? So I get that, but you need certain tools, right? So are our teachers equipped with these tools and the programs that they need to help develop these kids?
And that's kind of like where we as an organization are starting to realize that there are some gaps. There are people who are trained, but we found out very quickly, for example, when we did our camp, we did a pilot camp program, and the premise of that, the idea came from, where I personally attended a camp with my son specifically for autism. And in that experience, I realized, how well trained the staff were in that program, and they'd been doing it for like 20 years. Like, wow, we could bring this here to Cayman. We can replicate this in Cayman. We can give this access to all the children or even adults, because they have an adult program. And one of the things that we found out was that there were people who inquired about doing the camp with us who had there was a couple of adults. And I was like, we're not prepared for that. This is just a pilot program, but maybe we could grow into that. But you're right, training is key. So one of our the things that we want to do as an organization is we want to be able to provide and support training where we can. And that's not just, from us as experts, but collaborating with like other nonprofits. So the camp, for example, that I mentioned, they are run by a nonprofit and they're experienced. So we can collaborate with organizations like that who could then help support us with training, and kind of like not reinventing the wheel. Collaboration is key, and that's one of the things that we've realized as we've gone through this process. I mean, everything that we've done, we've worked in partnership with multiple schools. We've worked in partnership with lots of local businesses who are willing to accept the children, even though they weren't sure on how to navigate the situation, but they entrusted us that we could help support those kids in those experiences. So I think definitely education, training within our community, even with one of the things that we want to be able to do is offer specific police or security type training. That's one of the things that we've as an organization have said we want to do. We know that there is training that has existed.
Why specific police type training or security type training?
Well, for autism specifically, because they have sometimes it's unrecognized. It's almost an invisible disability at times, right? You might look at an individual and not realize what is happening in the situation with that person. And so I think if there's a specific training for that, then that would help our loved ones, the children and adults who are in the community, to be able to just be a part without fear, without families being fearful that something will erupt. And, there's not enough people around to have that awareness and also acceptance of, what's happening.
I think that's a great initiative to be able to train any police or security or whoever might just be have that interaction, and just to be able to understand, what might be going on in the situation. That level of awareness is needed for sure.
And we're very fortunate because we did have access to free training through the nonprofit in Colorado, and they offered it to us. So that's something that we've already discussed with them. But at this point, we would have to continue to figure out how to implement that here. But conversations here have already started with various parties on how we can move that forward.
Okay, so I want to move back a little bit. So you found some sort of a pilot camp program that was happening, but it wasn't in Cayman.
Well, it's not a pilot. They're a well-experienced organization.
Okay.
They're called Ascendigo, and they're in Colorado. They're a nonprofit. That's my son has attended that camp. But what we did here was we did a pilot program here, specifically for autism kids on the spectrum, and we did 10. We advertised 3 to 6 year olds. But we got a lot of inquiries beyond that.
Right.
So we didn't want to turn anyone away. So we just kind of said, let's wait, let's see, are we able to adapt our planning and our proposal for how we want to run this camp to include these children who are beyond 6 years old. And we did that. And then we ended up with a camp of 10 children on the spectrum and with a wide range of needs. And we were able to base it out of a school in West Bay, Montessori West. And from there, we basically kind of just did outings every single day with them.
Wow.
Outings, experiences in the community. And then
what did it really teach you about having that pilot program?
It was amazing. I mean, it was just fantastic to see how excited the children were. But even the parents, I mean, some were in tears because this is the first time that their 7-year-old or 10-year-old had ever been to a camp. And then also to be able to just experience being in the community and doing typical things, riding a horse and, going to on a charter out to the, Starfish Point. And did Dragon Bay Sailing Club. So they got on the boards and they got on the sailboats. I mean, it was a lot of effort, and it was we were very, very fortunate to get volunteers, so teachers who came in, and by the midweek, we'd had a 1-to-1 ratio. So 1 adult to 1 child or 1 teenager. So just not to act as a crutch or not to, not take away their independence, but to support.
Yeah,
support them and give them.
That's how I would look at it.
Yeah, to give them that confidence. And so it ended up being a really good experience for everyone all around.
A lot more focused care per se on that individual. I love that. I think that's
and
a great
they thrived. I mean, there was a little boy. I mean, I was shocked he even got onto the horse. Like, he had difficulties with physical difficulties, and one of our volunteers, he held him up. And he, kind of just trotted along with him. And I mean, you could see the glee and the happiness on his face.
Because a lot of the times autistic kids are, I don't want to say shut out or not given always the same opportunities, but maybe they feel that they can't join something, or, even if the children around them aren't aware of, what autism is, they might actually kind of ostracize those children on their own, right? And so to be able to give them these opportunities to interact, to do what everybody else is doing, it's so important, because you're not on the outside looking in anymore. Right. And I think that's so important, not to isolate children or anybody in that sense.
And I mean, in that way, I'm truly thankful for the companies that did open up to the idea of having these group of kids there, right? Because, I mean, they were participating and helping as well, and it wouldn't have happened without that support.
Partnerships, collaboration.
Yes.
That's very important.
It's key.
When we come back, I want to know if there's a lot of data or any data when it comes to autism in Cayman and the gaps that you might have found from starting that camp. the things you might have learned, like, because you said you had a lot of information or a lot of requests coming from older people, right? Not just children. So I think that probably opened your eyes as to, okay, this is what Cayman really needs, like what's going on, the reality of autism and needs not being met in the country.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that right after the commercial break.
All right.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Joseph James Anglin, 1899-1982.
Captain Joseph James Anglin was a sea captain who sailed to the Mosquito Keys, Nicaragua, Cuba, and Tampa, Florida. Married to Alvis Christina Chrissy Ebanks and the father of 12 children, he was a God-fearing Christian and a preacher in church. Known as a good neighbor, he helped to build a strong community.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets, sizzling hot and moving. Get your tickets now. Grand prize $40,000. Second prize $4,000. 6 $1,000 prizes. Sellers prizes up to $5,000. Get your $25 ticket from Rotary Central members. Rotary ticket sellers across Cayman. Eventpro.ky. Funky Tangs, Shudden Road. Rotarian Annie Rose Scott in Cayman Brac. A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Georgetown. And other locations. Rotary Central Cayman Islands. Supporting more than 70 projects across our community, across the Cayman Islands. The 30th Annual Rotary Central Music Extravaganza, Saturday, November 29. Jamming with Sugar Daddy, Los Tropicanos, and musical crew at Salty's Harbor Grill, Red Bay. Your ticket, your chance through Rotary Central.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Parents, if you're navigating the world of boarding schools, it can feel overwhelming. Dorm and Day are here to help. You don't have to do it alone. Whether your child is reaching for new academic challenges, looking to shine as a competitive athlete, or simply searching for the school that brings out their best, Dorm and Day are your trusted educational experts located right here in Georgetown. For 10 years, Dorm and Day have helped families just like yours to find the best fit schools with one-on-one support every step of the way. So why stress when you can have an experienced partner by your side? Visit dormandday.ky or call 936-3676 today. Dorm and Day, celebrating 10 years of opening doors to brighter futures.
Why settle for noise when you can enjoy the hits that make you feel alive? 105.3 FM has the classics, the memories, and the vibe you've been missing. Switch your dial and catch the breeze. 105.3 FM.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to Radio Cayman's The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and we are talking with Autism Cayman. And in studio, I have the president with me, Desiree Powery Tatum. And she was talking about a camp that started here when they brought a whole bunch of children in between ages. I think it was 3 to 6. Was it 3 to 6?
Well, 3 to 14 was when it ended up being. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was at Montessori West?
Yes.
And so we talked a little bit about there, and you were able to gather some data and insights. So my questions were, does Cayman have any data already when it comes to autism for the country. And from the camp that you had, did you glean any more insights from, people coming or people that were interested, any feedback?
Right. So we know as with the government education system, because I worked in the government schools as a teacher, there is data. So there is data. I think, and we as an organization, Autism Cayman, have started to have that conversation with the Ministry of Education to try to start to kind of figure out how we can, I guess, that data, how we can support collecting that data, how they can provide that data to us eventually. Mm-hmm. It is there, but it's a matter of trying to collect it all and putting it in a way that is beneficial to us. However, Autism Cayman, outside of that, has been collecting data, as you said, with the camp. We found out very quickly that there were adults who needed services as well, who were interested in having a camp for the summer. We weren't in a position to take that yet because it was a pilot program, and we were using teachers who were volunteering from like primary school, high school. So I think I'm excited that if we can work with another charity like the one I mentioned that's already in existence, they have an adult program. They have an adult camp program that runs this at the same time as a youth program, and that would be an excellent asset for us to then be able to develop something here to be able to utilize that resource.
So adults that do have autism in Cayman, what are their choices for support?
There's not a lot of choices for support. I know there's a Sunrise Center who does support the adults community. And then outside of that, having conversations like in our support groups, we found out, because we also have started a support group, that the first one was at the Intergenerational Hub. We found out that there's a lot of it is falling on parents outside of the Sunrise Center. So if they're not at the Sunrise Center, if they don't have a job, then the families are the ones who are having to figure out what to do with their adult.
Some people don't even have families or that
right.
much of an extensive family.
No.
It worries me. It's almost like
it is
we're leaving people who need help, and likely a lot of them don't have still communication skills, and once they reach adulthood, we're just leaving them to fend for themselves.
Right. So it is a huge issue that we are hoping to help figure out how to support. But we have to start somewhere, and eventually, continue to build those collaborative relationships, because one of the parents that we did speak to, I think it's part of Sunrise, I don't want to misquote, but they're working on a program where they're looking at housing, so for a small group, and so maybe we can help support that somehow, right, and collaborate there. But it is having these conversations and figuring out, well, what are you doing and what are we doing? How can we work together so that we can actually make this happen, but not just happen for the one-time camp? How can we make this happen so it's long-term,
right,
and it's sustainable and it stays, and it's not just sticking them somewhere, they need to be a part of our community.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, and that is the goal, I think, that most of us have as parents, and the desire that we have is that they have spaces within our community, that they can go to.
They are part of the community. Make them feel like they're part of the community.
Yeah, they need to be a part of it and feel welcome. Yeah, and it does take a village.
That's the important point that you said. So the partner collaborations, the different companies that you can work with, to share ideas and knowledge and support each other how you can. That is the very important part of community collaboration, and the whole part of it takes a village, because we can't do it alone.
Right.
And we often try. There's no pride you get from just doing it on your own. It helps when you can all work together. You feel even more of a sense of that you've really helped, that you've supported your community.
And we are 100% volunteer based. Yeah. So, we all have the directors, we're a working board. And then we have, outside of that, we have people who've given their time, and they've been consistent with that. And that's how we've been able to do what we've done so far. And I think it's helped that people have this desire and drive within them, like, hey, we actually want to make this change.
Is everybody that's part of your association, they either have family or children perhaps with autism?
So many people on this island are impacted by autism. So if they don't have a child themselves, they might have a friend, they might have a family member, they might have a coworker. So I think at the end of the day, we realize, look, this isn't just an isolating thing. This is impacting our entire community on multiple levels.
Yes.
I mean, from medical access to pediatricians and doctors and therapists. I mean, it's multifaceted, right?
What are those, I guess, barriers that somebody like me, who I don't have a relative with autism or a child with autism, I wouldn't understand what some barriers are out there for our autistic people. Could you give a general understanding of that?
I think some of the barriers could be, it goes anywhere from a medical. Sometimes you have to look for, we have a few on island, doctors, but in my case, I've had to go outside of Cayman, especially when my son was experiencing something that I needed a neurologist to do. I had to get a referral to go to a pediatric neurologist in the States. So some of the barriers could be medical. A lot of autistic individuals have an umbrella of medical conditions. It could be physical, or it could be, other, like something like seizures. But I think the barriers are on almost all of the levels. Educational levels, communication. But we do have services here. We do have people who can work with the children, like in the schools. And we do have the Lighthouse School, which is in existence. And there's a group of kids that are there. And I know they're full. But it's across the lifespan. And as you said, when they get into adulthood, I feel like this is where it becomes more problematic, from my understanding, with the parents that I've spoken to that have adult children, because now what do? Right. How do they get them a job?
Yes, that was going to be one of my questions.
How do they get them a job? What is their purpose? And, socially too, that could be a barrier as well. Because now you're no longer a child, you're an adult, and you still want to socialize, you still want to be a part.
Right.
So we've talked about ideas about maybe having a dance, like some kind of adult dance, or maybe offer some kind of, so there's, parents have an idea of what they want their kids to do. But I think speaking with us as an organization, working with us, we could then figure out how do we implement these things so that this can be, as I said, something that they have all access to, but also sustainable. And the key again is inclusion within our own community and within our own spaces.
I'm very cognizant of the time. We have about 3 minutes left. I know you have you've done a lot, and I still want to be like, so tell me about the things that Autism Cayman has done since you formed, but we don't have the time.
Right.
We have things coming up.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
So we have our Tea and Tequila, which is our first fundraising event.
Tea and Tequila.
Yay! Yes. So that's going to be fun. We have piñatas. We have High Tide is volunteering their time to perform for us. So they're one of the bands. We also have a DJ. It's going to be at the Brasserie. So that's on Saturday, the 1st of November from 2 to 5 p.m. We still have some tickets. We're 75% sold out. But if anyone wants to donate, raffle prizes or silent auction items, we welcome them because that's going to help raise the money that we need to continue to implement the programs that we've done. We also have our symposium, which we've already, it's going to be at the John Gray High School. It's on Saturday, the 18th of April, and that's going to be a big one for us. So we're excited for what's to come.
What's in the symposium? What's involved with that?
So the symposium is going to have some keynote speakers, international and also local. And it's going to be a free event to the public at the John Gray High School. It's going to be pretty much an all-day event. And we're hoping that we can share, basically speakers are going to talk about autism and what it is. We're hoping that in that event, it can be a family event. So we are hoping that we can utilize spaces within John Gray for people who have children that they want to attend. And it could be like a friendly, sensory-friendly environment for their families.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
So it's not like, I'm going to go to the symposium, but I have to find a sitter for my child. Like, no, we're going to have spaces for you. You can come, you can join us, and then we'll have spaces for to try to fit all those needs.
If you could say that you have a short-term goal within a couple years from now, what would you like Autism Cayman to have achieved within a couple of years? Not a long term. I mean, a long term is one thing. We only got a minute left. So short term, more immediate impact that you're looking for.
I think the immediate goals right now, which we've set out, which is the holiday camps, continuing to have those and maybe grow those in the summer, the education and training, the specific training to the police, the autism friendly spaces like in parks, and then of course continuing our support groups and building the data that we need then to implement the long-term plans.
I'm going to say we also need more parks.
Yeah.
For us to have those spaces in the parks.
Yeah, more parks. Family bathrooms is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, family bathrooms, quiet spaces. We just did the piano recital, which was a sensory-friendly recital that we collaborated on with another nonprofit. So those are things that we just want to continue to just grow.
I love it. You guys are doing things. This is great.
Yeah.
I wish you all the support in the world.
Thank you so much.
Let people know how they can get in touch with you. I know your website is autism.ky.
Yes, autism.ky. So you can also follow us on Facebook at Autism Cayman and on Instagram, Autism Cayman. You can reach out at connect@autism.ky. So that's our general inbox. And just reach out to us.
Perfect. Desiree, thank you so much for joining me this morning. It was great to have you. Wishing you the best. Team Tequila, you can still get tickets for that. It's on Saturday, November 1st. Reach out to you, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
you can reach out to me, Desiree, or Ali is my right-hand lady.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us. We got the 8 a.m. news, and I have a segment on managing work stress coming up next.
Thank you, Kathy. And studio time by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Happy Thursday from the Radio Cayman newsroom with your latest local news. I'm Jevi Ebanks. Lamoy Nugent pled guilty in summary court on Wednesday to overstaying in the Cayman Islands since May 2022. He remains in custody at HMP Northward and was expected to be sentenced later that day. Customs and Border Control has indicated that deportation proceedings will follow. Also appearing was Marvin Brooks, who admitted to overstaying, though the duration was not disclosed. His deportation faced a potential delay due to a separate charge involving suspected drug pills. However, Crown Prosecutor Kenneth Ferguson confirmed that the charges would be dropped, citing the cost of testing and continued detention as unjustified expenses for the public purse. In other local news, the Minister of Tourism and Transport, the Honorable Gary Rutty, says his priority is ensuring Caymanians continue to play a leading role in the tourism industry, a cornerstone of the nation's economy.
It's going to take work and it's going to take time, but Caymanians put this industry to where everyone has come to enjoy it today, and we need to put it back and continue in the trend that has been put there for decades and generations before. My goal is to have as many Caymanians possible in the tourism industry, providing a true Cayman experience to our visitors.
Speaking in Parliament, the Minister noted that the recent tourism job fair hosted by the Ministry of Caymanian Employment was a resounding success.
We can proudly boast of approximately 130 fellow Caymanians obtaining employment in our tourism industry.
He also said the ministry is working to strengthen the cruise and stayover tourism sectors with new projects like the Grand Hyatt and collaborations with regional partners.
I want to make sure that what we have here and what we can continue to develop and grow, that our guests will have the best experience when they come ashore. Because Cayman is a first-class destination, and we must provide first-class service.
The tourism minister planned to attend the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association conference in Puerto Rico, along with the Honorable J. Ebanks this week, to establish relationships and promote our cruise industry. A new online system aims to make healthcare delivery more efficient by helping Cayman doctors, nurses, and allied professionals renew their license faster and stay certified without disruption. The Department of Health Regulatory Services, in partnership with the Department of E-Government, has unveiled a new secure renewal portal that replaces the manual paper process. The platform lets practitioners renew, upload documents, and make payments online, cutting time and reducing delays that can affect access to care. Director Mervyn Connolly called the launch a significant accomplishment for the department, saying the automated system will improve efficiency, ease anxiety for practitioners, and make it easier for the health councils to manage their statutory functions. Minister Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes added that, quote, efficient licensing and registration systems are key to accountability and quality of care. Practitioners can now renew at my.egov.ky with support guides available on the portal or by calling 949-2813. That's your latest local news. I'm Jevi Ebanks. Now to the BBC for headlines around the world.
Hello, I'm Moira Alderson with the BBC News. Russia has called President Trump's sanctions entirely counterproductive. A foreign ministry official said they sent the wrong signal to achieve meaningful negotiated solutions to the conflict with Ukraine, adding that Russia had developed a strong immunity to Western restrictions. Thousands of Hungarians have gathered in Budapest for rival political rallies. Those backing the national Prime Minister Viktor Orban and his Fidesz government are calling it a peace march to support the government's position on Ukraine. A new 5-year plan approved by the Central Committee of China's ruling Communist Party emphasises technological self-reliance at a time of tension with the United States. The document, approved after a 4-day meeting chaired by President Xi Jinping, makes tackling economic challenges a central priority. 4 United Nations agencies are appealing for greater international attention to the crisis in Sudan. UN bodies dealing with migration, children, refugees and food security say the civil war has devastated infrastructure and disrupted basic services in the capital Khartoum and surrounding areas. A French court has convicted the energy giant TotalEnergies over misleading climate mitigation claims. It ruled that it violated advertising law with an ad campaign claiming it aimed to be carbon neutral by 2050. That's the latest world news from the BBC.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Why is it important to vaccinate children against HPV? Because research shows that the best time to get the HPV vaccine is between the ages of 9 and 14, and it takes a single dose. The HPV vaccine is the best protection available against HPV-related cancers, which impacts boys and girls, men and women. Let's arm our nation against cancer, Cayman. Get the HPV vaccine today. For more information, contact the Public Health Department on 244-2648 or 244-2889.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcade, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 85 degrees. Relative humidity is 75%. The barometric pressure is 29.85 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northeast at 10 knots. Overnight low temperature was 81 degrees. Synopsis indicate a weakening upper level trough located across the Cayman area will continue to support the chance for some showers at times through the next 24 hours. Fresh and gusty winds at times are likely to persist through the next few days as the pressure gradient continues to tighten. As a result of these winds, a small craft advisory will be in effect, with some swells possible along the southern and eastern coast. Radar imagery shows scattered showers mainly south of the Cayman area, moving towards the southwest. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida continues to issue advisories on Tropical Storm Melissa, which in the last advisory was located at 15.5 north, 74.9 west. It's about 520 miles southeast of Grand Cayman, or 459 miles for Cayman BHAC. Melissa is moving towards the northwest at 5 miles per hour, with maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour. While Tropical Storm Melissa does not currently pose any immediate threat to the Cayman Islands, residents are encouraged to remain cautious and prepared in the event of a shift in the projected path. The Cayman Islands National Weather Service continues to monitor this storm. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today and tonight, calling for partly cloudy skies, becoming cloudy at times, with a 40% chance of showers and some thunder, and showers will be locally heavy at times. Temperatures today will be in the upper 80s and will fall near the upper 70s tonight. Winds will be northeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts, especially in shower activity. Seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Some swells are possible, especially along the southern and eastern coast, and small craft should continue to exercise caution. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 10:39, low tide this afternoon at 4:27, and a high tide again tonight at 9:20. The sun will set this evening at 5:55 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:23. And the outlook is calling for a continued and gradual increase in winds and seas through the weekend as Tropical Storm Melissa approaches near Jamaica. The small craft advisory will likely be upgraded to a small craft alert this weekend. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Aunt Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG BritK. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG BritK, where people come first.
Radio Cayman News.
Public Health has reported, quote, several cases of gastroenteritis.
Local prices surged in the second quarter of this year.
Investigation continues into a report that a student brought a gun to Clifton Hunter High School last week.
Want to assure parents DES is committed to keeping our schools safe.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
If you or your loved one is facing cancer, only Sylvester will stand firmly by your side at every step. From diagnosis through survivorship, providing you and your family peace of mind and assisting with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center is South Florida's only NCI-designated cancer center and specializes in treating the most complex cancer cases. Your first-class cancer care is just a flight away. Learn more at sylvester.org.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Top of the morning, let's check in with traffic, see what's happening. Coming off of the Esteli-Tibbetts Highway, steady traffic, and continuing on to North Sound Road, Industrial Park area, flowing at a moderate pace. Slow-moving traffic on Cool Road, heading to Georgetown. Heading east and Cool Road traffic on Cool Road is moderate. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, flowing at a good pace. Off of Agnes Way, moderate flow of traffic. As we look to downtown Georgetown on Edward Street, no issues there. Traffic is light to moderate, as well as Owen Roberts Drive. From the West Bay, four-way stop, flowing pretty good. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moving along at a moderate pace as well. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing smoothly, and if you see any other accidents, I know an accident occurred in the Spots area early this morning, so that might be adding to some delays coming from the east. And that's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Rotary Central Cayman Islands, in association with the Cayman Islands Health Services Authority and the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens, present East to West Health Check. Free for you, free for all. Free blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, body mass index screening and assessment. Free physician's consult. The 14th Annual Rotary Central Diabetes Awareness Screening. East End Health Center. Cost You Less West Bay. A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Georgetown. Saturday, November 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The East to West Health Check, a Rotary Central community initiative.
Stand up with a rock and he hit the cloud.
Hi, Cayman. We're back. Your one and only Cayman Islands folk singers, live in concert. Bring the family and enjoy a walk down memory lane with memories in melody, stories and songs to remember. Friday, October 24th and Saturday, October 25th at the Harkwell Theatre. Show starts at 7 on Friday with the gates opening at 6:30. And on Saturday, gates open at 5:30 and showtime starts at 6. Tickets are available from the Intergenerational Hub, Winner's Circle, and from members of the Cayman Islands Folk Singers. Tickets are $15 for adults and $10 for children. Come, enjoy. Memories in Melody is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Just then, old Lorraine stepped up. Poor old Whitmore, he was so...
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and I'm very happy to welcome back this guest. She's one of my favorite guests since I've started this show. So happy to say that. I hope not everybody else gets offended because I've been calling everybody else my favorite guest, although I love everybody. I feel like a parent. I love everybody equally. Some people you just, align with a little stronger. And that is Miss Heather Lockhart. Good morning, Heather. How are you doing?
Good morning, Kathy. And I can say that this is one of my favorite places to be in,
awesome.
in the world. And it's so wonderful to see you. You're such a special person to me.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Great to be here today.
So I'm going to give your intro here.
Okay.
So
great.
You are the founder of the Clarity Hub. You're a certified life coach helping professionals worldwide create meaningful change. You're based in Grand Cayman and offer strategic coaching in leadership, career transitions, and personal growth, both in person and remotely.
Yep, that's me.
And this is so you, because every time we talk, we have a little, you give me a little bit of, I would say some coaching, some support per se, and I love that. So you're an absolute gem.
Thank you.
And I
so
hope
much,
everybody
Kat.
gets to experience you in that way as well.
Thank you so much. That really makes my heart sing.
No problem. So let's get into the little background about you, about Clarity Hub. Let us know about it, the programs that you offer, and what you do in particular.
Thank you so much. I am the Clarity Hub is the coaching arm of BHAC, so that's Behavioral Health Associates Cayman, and we are 3 psychiatrists, a therapist, and I'm the coach. And I've got the fun job. I've got the really fun job. I get to help people with their goals, help get them to light them up about what they want to do, getting from A, B, C, D, and beyond. They're doing all the work, but I get to be there in the passenger seat, helping them see where they want to go. And that is, that's what gets me up in the morning. Mm-hmm. I feel that's what I was born to do.
Awesome.
So I'm certified with the ICF, the International Coach Federation. So I've had, good training on that. And I work with individuals, can work with them, anybody, anywhere in the world. But I do quite a bit of work here in Cayman. Here people like to sit in person. They like that in-person session. So I do a lot of work here just in my office, sitting with people face-to-face with their cup of coffee or their big glass of water or whatever, and we work face-to-face. Also do some corporate work. I work with Dr. Alexandra Bodden of Encourse Cayman, and she's loves to be here as well.
Yep.
And we do corporate workshops. And we come into companies, small, large. We work with any size company, any type of company, to help them with things like team building, conflict resolution, emotional intelligence, and whatever they'd like to work on, really, just to kind of do some learning and growth and help them to be their best selves as well. And we love that work. That's honestly gets me up in the morning as well.
I love it. That's awesome. It's great when you meet somebody that's enthusiastic about what they do.
It's thank you.
It's purpose. You know what I mean? You're seeing somebody in their purpose, and how are you not drawn to somebody like that? You know,
it's fun.
So when you live in your element and when you live in your purpose, that happiness comes out, and it's contagious. You know, coaching. A lot of people might be a little mystified as to what coaching is. Can you break down exactly what is coaching? Who would need a coach?
Well, coaching, it's been around for a long time. Sometimes people think of it as new. And there's many wonderful and talented coaches right here in the Cayman Islands. The roots are in psychology and sports. So, and we're not psychologists. We've got a much different toolkit than psychologists. We don't treat or diagnose. We're working with the clients. We believe that they're that expert in their own lives. And we're not in their lives. We're objective professionals that can help them achieve their goals. We're there to listen and help as an accountability partner. So we help them be accountable to themselves on achieving goals. We meet a couple of times a month, virtually or again or in person, and help them see things that they might not be able to see, blind spots about themselves, and help them move forward with whatever it is they want to work on. So we don't tell, we don't advise, we're not in that space, but we listen. We'll come back and say, hey, wow, that's not what you said a month ago or 6 months ago or a year ago. It's usually shorter term engagements. You know, we're not there forever. We're there to help them build their toolkits to move forward. Faster, further, quicker, easier. We make life easier. So I've had a lot of coaching. That's part of my coach training. So really anybody could use a coach if they're so inclined. I've worked with people that are in college that are looking to, hey, what do I want to do with my life? I work with folks in their 70s and beyond.
Wow.
Because it's never too late to learn and grow.
I'm so curious, in that era of life, what are they seeking in terms of coaching?
More happiness.
More happiness.
More purpose. More out of life.
I love that.
We don't ever stop unless we want to.
Yeah, it's true.
That coaching client, I'll tell you what, I had to sharpen my pencil with that gal. And I'm going to call her a gal. She was a gung-ho coaching client. I had to sit up straight like I do for every client. But she was full of energy in life, and she had big goals, and she achieved them. She was only a 90-day client, and she was a Ferrari.
Wow, that's so surprising to me.
Amazing.
And I think one of the things that I've realized over years, as I've seen some very successful business owners or CEOs, very, very successful. You would think they have such a busy plate, right? Yep. And they go through coaching. They have a coach.
Yep.
And it was a signal to me in the sense of, you might be at the top of your game, but even if you're at the top, you don't just stay there on your own.
Yep.
And that's what you might need a coach. Besides a team around you, all the rest, but you might need that coach for that professional support just to keep going, whatever it is you need to do.
Absolutely. And we think about the fittest people we see sometimes in the gym.
Yes.
They've got the personal trainer at times to help bring things up a level. And that's what coaching can do. It can really kind of bring things up a level and help people clarify their goals, stay on track. It's an objective person that's on their team, but not in their life. So we can really help them move forward and stay accountable to what they want to do. So we're not cheerleaders. You know, we're not friends, but we're there to help them see things more clearly. What we're doing is we're really holding up a big mirror, because it's tough for all of us to see ourselves clearly. Sometimes we're telling stories to ourselves that they might not be true.
Oh gosh, I feel like I've just gone through this in my life, is the narrative that I was telling myself, feeding a story, and it was just negative. And I'm like, this is, what this person is like and what they did to you and blah, blah. Yeah. And then it just, kept thinking about it. And I, it made me just resent this person more and more. And I was like, okay, just stop. Like, why are you telling yourself this? You don't even know if half that is true about that person. You're just making these thoughts up in your head and feeding yourself this story. And it was a narrative, and so much about the narrative that we tell ourselves impacts everything, our day-to-day lives, our feelings, our emotions, how we interact with others. It's so important. I'm really glad that you mentioned the narrative.
The narrative. And sometimes stories, they start early in life, right?
Oh, yeah. And not always by ourselves.
Not by ourselves. There's a lot of feedback all day long, every day, from things that we see in social media, on TV, coworkers, all that kind of thing. So sometimes we need someone objective there. Okay, don't need, but it can help if someone's there to help us pull apart some of these outdated narratives that we cling to.
Yes.
It can help us, stay safe sometimes. And we want to move forward, move out of our comfort zone, move into something new for ourselves.
What's dangerous about staying safe?
Well, we don't move forward. What do you think?
For me, it's the no growth at all.
Right.
No growth at all. And then it's like you're shutting off your mind in a sense. So you're not learning anymore. Your perspective becomes very, very narrow.
Yep.
And instead of, when you are learning things and that perspective widens, you're going to take a lot more time with thought and how you approach things and your understanding and empathy and all the rest.
Yep.
That's what I think.
That you're 100% right.
Okay.
So a coach can help you pull apart some things that maybe aren't serving you anymore. Take those planks away from the old deck in the backyard and say, what do we need to put in place that might help be sturdier, that you can stand on, to be strong?
Why are we holding on to those things that aren't serving us?
It's different for everyone.
Okay. Have you found any common reasons per se with clients?
A lot of times it's the things that we've held on to in the past that have worked for us in the past. But as we move forward, what will be possible? What will be different? That's a question that comes up a lot in coaching. Well, what needs to be different? Because there's a goal for where we are now, and there's a goal. What's going to be different between now and the future? What needs to be different? What will be different? And sometimes it's about those stories. And we hear a lot in coaching, well, I'm always, I've always, or, I can't. There's a lot of things that are negatives. I can't, or it's my brother that's the one that's got the brains, or it's this, or there's always these negatives that are holding us back. And in coaching, we look at the growth mindset. These things aren't fixed. There's a way that we can move forward, unless it's our eye color or something like that. There's a lot that can shift.
You can change that too now. But yes.
That's true too. As long as we allow ourselves to believe that we can open things up and try. So coaching can give you the space to safely try things, and it doesn't happen in one session. I wish that I could get things to happen in one session. But, it takes a little bit of work on the part of the client. Client does the work.
Yeah.
But things happen, in a space of a couple of months usually, where people are willing to try new things, see what works. There's no magic to it. The magic is within the client to try new things and move forward with their goals.
And you said you did coaching for training as well, but did you have a coach prior to you getting into coaching?
No.
Okay.
My background was in sales, and I would say there was a coaching element to it in many of the organizations that I was in, but I didn't try formal coaching until I got into coach training. And it was...
What led you there then?
It was through a program in the U.S., and I had coaching in person and also, virtually. And it was game-changing.
Okay.
Game-changing.
So
light bulbs everywhere. It was fascinating. Coaching still, and I've had coaching over the years, throughout the years. It can be just a fascinating experience, depending on what you put into it.
Would you be able to share any kind of favorite stories or moments without, revealing too much about any of the clients that you work with, but when you've seen transformation with them, when you coach with them?
Yes. So, for instance, I had a client who was interested in relocating here.
Okay.
And was very overwhelmed with the idea of moving here. Yeah, that's a big step.
It is.
They were in their 40s and had never lived anywhere but one state in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
One city in the U.S. and wanted to move here and was dreaming of moving here and got a hold of me through our website. And over a period of time, didn't even have a passport.
Oh, wow.
That's how,
untraveled they are.
Sort of. They had a very sheltered life and that kind of thing. And over a period of time, got brave enough to travel here and move here and is still living in the most incredible place, in my opinion, in the world. And is living their best life in the Cayman Islands.
So you were able to, I guess, push through those fears with that person, and
they were able to push through their fears.
Yes,
and live in this I'm biased, but the most incredible place.
I like how you rephrase that. I think that was awesome. Okay, we're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get into, we're here really to talk about stress in the workplace, right? So we're going to get into details about that conversation next.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Reading is a match that lights the flame of imagination, innovation, curiosity, ambition. Register today for the inaugural free to the public literacy conference, the Life Conference 2025, Saturday, November 1st, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Kimpton Seafire Resort, 7 Mile Beach. The theme, early childhood, strong start, strong future. Keynote speaker, Dr. Dan Worry, founder of the Early Childhood Policy Solutions. Register now. Go to lifeconference.ky. Life. Literacy is for everyone. Supported by Rotary Central, Cayman Islands.
Tired of burning cash at the gas pump and wasting time in traffic? Say goodbye to gridlock and hello to freedom with a Kimco scooter from Automotive Art. Trusted in over 100 countries, Kimco is now known worldwide for reliable, fuel-efficient scooters built to last. Perfect for Cayman's roads. With 2 models to choose from, the Agility 125cc for just $23.99 and the Agility RS Naked 125cc for $24.99. It's the smart, budget-friendly way to beat traffic and cut costs. Visit Automotive Art today and ride smarter with Kimco, because saving money should never mean slowing down.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and we are talking about managing stress in the workplace. And woo, is this ever a fitting topic for me in my life right now? I think for a lot of us in our lives right now, and especially this is the busy season. So we're about to hit a very busy season, and people can also be very overwhelmed with holiday functions. Some feel ostracized from holiday functions, and there's just a lot of demand that can happen in this last quarter. Not just the last quarter, but all the time it can be happening. Yeah. So Heather Lockhart is here to tell us all about stress in the workplace. And I guess let's just start with the basics. What does that typically look like?
Well, I want to just take a big picture look at stress, because stress can get kind of a bad rap, because not all stress is bad. There's good stress and bad stress. Okay. So good stress is called eustress. So sometimes we talk about being stress-free. We'd be bored. So the good stress is things like getting a promotion, taking a job interview for a new job, taking on a new project at work, maybe getting a new certification at work. So these are the things that give us energy, a challenge. Even though we get those butterflies in our stomach, these are good things.
This is something that challenges you, like, positively.
In a positive way. In our personal lives, this might be things like, oh, I'm doing a house renovation, or I'm planning a big family trip, or maybe I'm going on a first date. So these are all new things, but this is good stress. This is positive stress. So if we didn't have any stress at all, life would be very flat. So we don't want to say, well, I don't want any stress. Because this is, as humans, we want some stress. So that's the good stress. Where it turns into distress, which is what we commonly refer to as stress, this is when it has negative impacts on us. And we all know what that feels like. When we feel stressed, what's it feel like?
Oh, yeah. Well, what I feel like it hits people differently. But for me, there's this a very horrible, uneasy feeling in my gut, for sure. Almost like anxiety to the 1,000th power. Yeah.
Exactly. So most people do have some type of physical feeling around it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people talk about it being in some type of, in the gut or in the stomach. Some people feel lightheaded, but there's definitely a physical feeling, because we're all connected.
Yeah.
So it's in the body. It affects productivity. It goes the other way. It affects sleep, and then there's only one us, so it affects our personal lives as well. Mm-hmm. So that work stress is going to bleed over into everything. So this can be what is work stress? Well, there's a lot of different factors that can that can affect us with work. What I hear commonly in the 12 years that I've been coaching, it's in different buckets. One bucket is going to be overload, just too much work, not enough time. Too short of a deadline, that kind of thing. So it's just too much on the plate from work. That's very common. Probably the most common one I hear from people that come to me for coaching. What is the most stressful thing here in life? People. Other people. So it tends to be something interpersonal. Mm-hmm. It's either a colleague, someone that's really, there's friction from someone that we work with. That could be a colleague, a boss. If you are the boss, it could be someone in your team or a team in general. So it's someone that we're trying to work with that we don't get on with, and it's causing a lot of stress. This is the kind of thing that we're talking about at the kitchen table at night, or if we live by ourselves, we're talking to a family member or a loved one, and that's very, very difficult. So this is something that I hear over and over and over again. This is the kind of thing where people are bringing in emails or stories that have happened weeks before. I only see my clients twice a month, and we hear about it a lot. This is the kind of thing that we see in our corporate workshops that we work on quite a bit, is interpersonal relationships. We're humans. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of interaction with others, and we need to collaborate and work well with others, and it's not easy. So this is one of the other big buckets that we see, is interpersonal relationships. Another bucket is going to be the organization itself and stressors there that are going to be things like maybe if a company's gone through a merger, or if maybe they've been bought by somebody else, or there's growth and there's been a lot of new employees, or maybe if it's a small organization, maybe the children have taken over the business from the parents, or there's been a divorce in the owners, or someone's on maternity leave and that's affected workflow or something like that. Or there's some type of dysfunction with the organization and there's a lack of clarity with the direction and what someone's supposed to be doing. There's also things like lack of clarity in the role, where someone feels like they're not sure what they're supposed to be doing, or there's a lack of direction in the job description. There's also things like boredom, or where there's not a chance for growth, that the person's not recognized, or they're not feel like they aren't being valued in their role. There's also other more subtle things like cultural clashes, where there's differences between different cultures, or I've had clients come in that they've got a new boss that's 20 years younger than them, and there's disconnects and things like that. So there's a lot of different factors that come in with work stress, but the bottom line is this really impacts our life because we spend a lot of our time at work. And it's difficult to feel like you've got a really happy life if your work stressors are kind of overwhelming you. So work stress is probably 70% of the reason that people come into coaching.
And so the interpersonal relationships, that was one of the first things you mentioned.
Yes.
And it sticks out to me because I had a conversation recently with somebody, and they said, they were talking about workplaces and said, in work, you just have professional discussions with somebody, like that's it. And I was like, I kind of raised my eyebrows and I said, well, I think that just depends on that company culture per se, but I don't understand how you can be working with somebody up to 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. You might be spending more time with them than your own actual family and loved ones, but I'm not supposed to ask you any questions. How was your weekend? How's your family doing? I said that alone to me just seems so, it's cold, and I understand different work environments. It might necessitate that, but I said definitely not where we work, right? So that would be a different company culture per se. But I wouldn't be able to not interact with the people I work with in that sense. And in saying that, we all work so differently. We all communicate differently. We all have different methods of working. So what when there starts to be some sort of a conflict, what would be the first thing that we should do when we're starting to feel some sort of a stress when it comes to an interpersonal relationship within work?
Well, communication is really important. So it depends on the relationship. So if this is your boss, we have to think about the power dynamic. And you may have a boss that has a different personality style. It could be extroversion, introversion. I've had a client that's come in and said, they had a new leadership situation, and their boss was different personality-wise. It wasn't culture, it was a personality type of thing. And the boss would come in and not say good morning. It's exactly what you were talking about. They wouldn't ask anything about them. They just weren't a warm type of person. They were very effective, but there wasn't any kind of personal relationship. And this was rubbing my client the wrong way. They felt not seen. They felt that it was they were being kind of ignored. There was some acknowledgement in the professional sense of that the work was being done, but they didn't feel like they were being seen as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something important that happened in their life that was also not acknowledged. I think there was maybe a grandchild or something like that, and it was just kind of blown over. So there was a communication at some point in time where the client actually had a conversation with the leader that these niceties are important to me. And there was some movement on it. But there was that conversation came up in a performance review where the client said, this is important to me, and I know it might be a small thing, and that was effective. But it could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm.
So there can be a way that communication is a path forward to a smoother work relationship.
Ooh, and then what are the
There's
options?
risks.
Yeah,
There's risks.
There's risks, and then there's there's the possibility, one, that if it was per se a manager, right?
Yes.
You might be having a difficulty with, that manager is open and receptive to what you might be communicating with them. Then there's the possibility that they're not going to change.
They're not going to change.
It's going to be the same for you, and you're going to feel that. So what is that option for that employee at that point?
We talked about it in the coaching space. We talked about, there was a couple different paths forward that the client came up with. There was leaving it and not discussing it. And what she decided was, I can't stay here the way things are.
Yeah.
So in my performance review, because there's always a question around what could be different, there was two-way feedback. And she decided she was going to address it and bring it up and say, I feel that it's a little bit cold in here in our conversations. She decided to address it knowing that there might be a risk that it would be negative for her. And that if it didn't go well, she was going to look for something else.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a little bit better with her, and she stayed. But she knew that there was a risk that it might not work out. She was willing to take that risk because it made her that uncomfortable, that their interactions were so cold.
Mm-hmm.
So she was willing to risk that.
Mm-hmm.
So her options were acceptance, going somewhere else, or having that conversation.
And then I'm sure within that coaching, these are the risks. So what are the avenues that you could take with the risk being afforded to you right here?
And we talked about it for about 4 months.
Okay, wow.
Before she did it. So this was a big
deal for her.
Big deal for her. Because she interacted with this person every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And she had lots of interactions with other people, but it was really bothering her.
Yeah.
So the bottom line with your question is thinking about what your options are,
mm-hmm.
kind of looking realistically at the other person that you're dealing with and weighing what's best for you.
Yeah. And man, if you have those options, great. Some people don't, unfortunately. There's some nuances with every job contract that's out there, right?
Yes.
Or status on the island per se.
Of course.
Right? There's
course.
that. So, and I think that's one of the things that worries me so much. And this has nothing to do with our conversation per se, but we are having different immigration laws come out right now,
yes.
and job hopping is something people are looking at. And I've been emphasizing, man, a lot of people don't understand that people are leaving jobs that they immediately come to on island because of abuse of power and what might be going on in the workplace.
Yes.
And people's responses, that's fine. They can just go right back home where they're from.
Right.
And I'm like, that's a terrible way to look at somebody who's just endured whatever they might have endured and spent how much money coming here and what stress that is.
Yes.
To people. So there's things aren't that easy, man. Things aren't that easy in the workplace and learning how to manage. So I had to bring that in because it's
That's a very
really
important point.
Yeah, it's really in my head.
And it's expensive for employers to lose employees.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. We have a lot of personal things that going on in our life, right?
Yeah.
And we have our work going on in our life. How can people try to manage and not take necessarily maybe the stress from their personal life into work? I know this can be a really hard thing for some people to do.
So work-life balance.
Yeah.
And this is and I try to call it work-life alignment, because when we think about balance, we think like a scale. And when we think about, things being perfectly aligned, that's probably unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have ebbs and flows in our lives where we have other things going on in our lives that might be very challenging, where you're going to have, things just perfectly lined up that we feel like, oh, things are just balanced.
Mm-hmm.
That work-life balance I think it's a myth. And sometimes that's the main reason that people come into coaching. I want more work-life balance. Usually there's something that feels really out of line when someone comes into coaching for work-life balance. They feel like they are shortchanging themselves or their family in one way. Sometimes it's their pets. I mean, there's really, and I have 3 dogs, so I feel strongly about this, right? So there's something that they feel that it's not getting enough attention. Mm-hmm. And many times it's themselves. They feel like they are being so stretched thin that there's nothing left for them. They're at work all the time. They come home and there's a lot of demands at home. And then they're just collapsing at the end of the day. So the question is, what can give? There's no room for anything to give. I can't do less at work. I can't do less at home. I still have to grocery shop. Traffic's crazy. My vacations are exhausting because I'm just seeing loved ones or maybe an ill parent or something like that. When is anything going to change?
Right.
And then at the end of life, I'm just going to, there's really a catastrophic way of thinking about it. So what can shift, because again, what you're saying is maybe there's no chance to change roles. Mm-hmm. And expenses are just building. Kids have to go to college. Retirement has to be saved for. So sometimes there's this snowball of I don't see anything changing for me and I just feel gloomy about everything. So what can change within that, there's always wiggle room in there somewhere. So we start to pick apart that plate. First of all, we look at what's on the plate. What are we currently looking at? What's there? What are your current responsibilities? And then we start to really narrow it down and say, what's a typical day look like? What's on there? Usually there's something in there that can shift. And with every person's different. But we start to look at better time management. Even the best time manager, there's room in there. There's usually a little bit of space that looks like delegation or time blocking. Sometimes we all waste a little bit of time. So we look at really narrowing time. Time blocking is instead of having the to-do list or just getting through your day, you try to be a little bit better about managing your time, making better use of your time and planning out your time, being more effective about the way that you look at your day. Also leveraging help from others, whether that's at home or at work, maybe reaching out to others, talking to whoever you work with about, I'm feeling overwhelmed, if that's possible, and seeing if there isn't a way to kind of reconfigure the way things are, either at work or at home, to see if there isn't a little bit more give in your day. I've never worked with anyone that didn't find a way to make things a little bit better, an inch at a time, a foot at a time, a yard at a time. And there's a way usually to make things a little bit better, to give yourself a little bit more space and get a little bit more time back in your day at work and your time at home.
That's interesting to me because they know that they're coming to you for some coaching so that they know that there's some tweaking that could be done, that they could work on, right? And I'm glad that you don't have anybody that says absolutely no, like this isn't changing or I can't find anything, because it's their own barrier. It's their own block to supposedly wanting to change or wanting to improve on something. So I find that interesting that nobody has, in a good way. I find that interesting that nobody has said to you, no, I can't make any changes to my schedule. They know.
It's never happened.
And they know that they have to get that change within themselves to make it happen.
Well, many times, and when we talk about work stress, sometimes I call it a you thing. So people sometimes people have a mindset problem with help. We think of help as being weak.
Right.
We think of help as being a deficit. It's that we're not good enough. And this is at home. This is in the workspace, and it's just kind of a cultural thing. If I'm asking anybody for help, it means that I can't do it all. Mm-hmm. Women think this. Men think this. It's
Women
universal.
are almost trained to do that.
No, we can't. It means that there's something wrong. Mm-hmm. Even if we say I don't really understand this at work. Or if we say at home, I can't do it, I have to outsource something, or I have to ask a family friend or ask somebody from my church or something, it means that I don't have it all together. There's a lot of cultural pressure that we must be superwoman. If you look on Instagram or anything else, or that men have to have everything together.
Right.
That they can't ever borrow money or do anything. We have to be amazing.
We have to rely on the men, which is a lot of pressure on them too.
Exactly. So asking for help is a sign of strength. If you look at someone that's super successful, they have a lot of resources. They've got teams. They've got squadrons of people helping them. So that's the first thing. You've got to be able to ask for help and say, I need help. There's also a big word, a big powerful word that comes into the space of work-life balance. And I'm going to say it loudly, no. Yeah. I'm going to shout it, no. Because many times we're trying to help others and we say yes.
Why do people have such a hard time saying no? Hold on to that thought. I'm totally missed our commercial break by a few minutes. Let's cruise through the commercial break and let's go to why do people have such a hard time saying no. We're going to come back to that after the break.
Cruise into summer with expert service from Automotive Art Cayman. More than a retail store, it's your one-stop auto care shop. We offer paint, detailing, accessories, wheels, Yamaha parts and products, batteries, tire repairs, tire changes, and more. Need top-tier shine and protection? Grab Gliptone detailing gear, Chevron synthetic oil, and Axiom car care kits. Get expert service with premium products all under one roof. Wherever you cruise, make your pit stop at Automotive Art first. Find us on Shedden Road and follow us at Auto Art KY on Instagram and Automotive Art Cayman on Facebook.
Parents, if you're navigating the world of boarding schools, it can feel overwhelming. Dorm and Day are here to help. You don't have to do it alone. Whether your child is reaching for new academic challenges, looking to shine as a competitive athlete, or simply searching for the school that brings out their best, Dorm and Day are your trusted educational experts located right here in Georgetown. For 10 years, Dorm and Day have helped families just like yours to find the best fit schools with one-on-one support every step of the way. So why stress when you can have an experienced partner by your side? Visit dormandday.ky or call 936-3676 today. Dorm and Day, celebrating 10 years of opening doors to brighter futures.
Southeast by Southeast.
Hey Cayman, did you hear? The Cayman Islands folk singers are back live in concert Friday and Saturday, October 24th and 25th at the Harkwell Tatum. And a try so come out and bring your family and enjoy a walk down memory lane with memories in melody, stories, and songs to remember. And I don't want to miss this. I hope to see you there. The Cayman Islands Folk Singers in concert Friday and Saturday, October 24th and 25th at the Harkwell Theatre. Friday gates open at 6:30 p.m. and the show starts at 7 p.m. and Saturday gates open at 5:30 p.m. and the show starts at 6 p.m. Tickets are adults $15 and children $10 and are available at the Intergenerational Hub, Winter Circle Sports, and from any of the folk singers. Memories in Melody is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Old Providence was a port he bound to save his life and crew. Southeast by
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz, and as always, the conversation is going way too fast. So, I wish I could keep you here all day, Heather. So we have Heather Lockhart, who is from the Clarity Hub. She's a certified life coach, and we are talking about stress in the workplace, managing stress in the workplace. And one of the things you said right before the break was people have a very hard time saying no. And so my question was, why don't people say no? Why is it so hard for them?
What I've seen over the years is that we want to say yes. We want to help others. Part of that is we want to be liked. We want to be accepted and liked, and we want to help. It's hard to say no. But we have to remember that every time we say yes, we're saying no to who?
Us.
To us.
And our boundaries as well.
And we want to think about time. We tend to be a little unrealistic about time. Even the smartest person is a little unrealistic about time. So we want to jump out, even if it's on that WhatsApp. Someone asks us something, we say yes. We're at work, and of course we're getting paid to say yes. So what we can say in a work situation is, what if I say yes to this, what should I say no to? So we want to be careful about just saying yes in a work situation if it's going to put something else to the side. We can't do everything. What should I put on hold, or what should I put to the side if I say yes to this? Because there's already everything here and I'm already committed to doing this. But if it's at home, even if it's our children, if we're saying, if we're doing something for a loved one, we want to be careful. It's okay not to answer in that moment. We're in a very instant TikTok world We want to think about ourselves first, and that's hard. We don't think about ourselves first.
I think we're almost trained to be taught that that's selfish and to put everybody else ahead of us and take care of everybody else kind of first.
But if we don't take care of ourselves, what happens is we end up giving a watered-down version of ourselves to everyone else. Mm-hmm. And that's where we end up with the work stress. Performance goes down. Attention goes down. Sleep goes down. Our nutrition goes down. Everything goes down. So we must remember, especially as we move into the holidays, especially as we move into to this pace that we're going into, we've got to remember, what am I already committed to? And we got to remember, too, is that when someone will ask you, can you do something in 6 months? If we wouldn't want to do it tomorrow, we're not going to want to do it in 6 months. So we really want to, because some people say, oh, yeah, that's in March.
Sometimes I may need
sure.
6 months.
I'll have the time. That's Sunday in 6 months. I'll want to do it then. But if you don't want to do it this Sunday, you're not going to want to do it then. So give yourself that precious gift of a few minutes. You can always say, you know what, I've got to check my calendar. Let me get back to you. And it's okay to give a gracious no, a gentle no. You know what, I won't be able to give this the bandwidth that I'd really like to do. I won't be able to give you the space that you deserve. Let me think of something else that I could do for you. Or let me see if I can think of someone else. Or I just can't, and my apologies, but I can't. It's okay to say no. Because if you keep saying yes, you're just going to give a big, fat no to you.
Yeah, I think we have a call coming in. I'm not sure if it's for our show. I hope it is. I think I know the number. So yes, I think we got a call coming in. Great. One of the questions I have for you is tools that people can lean on when they're becoming really stressed out. I will say for me, one of them was learning to breathe.
Yes.
So I've been, just stepping back and just breathing with things and taking some time there and just controlling everything through breath. So is there any tools that you would suggest when it comes to managing workplace stress, a little toolbox people can kind of build?
So one thing I've had people do that tend to get really stressed at work is to have an actual little stress pack. So to put something in your desk that is tactile, put some strong mints, maybe some essential oil, something that you want to disrupt the thought pattern. Maybe a stress ball or something, so you actually touch it, smell it, squeeze it, that kind of thing. That really can help if you really need to disrupt yourself from your thinking. The other thing that's really simple that you can do anywhere is just literally, if you're by yourself, literally stand up, you want to move, and say, stop. Just say it out loud, stop. There's something that happens within your systems if you really say it out loud, stop, and say to yourself, what's my next step? Say it out loud, because you will listen to yourself. Stop, or say, what's stressing me out here? Because we want to have self-awareness. What is it? What is going on here? Mm-hmm. You can't do that if you're in the middle of a meeting with a colleague that's really upsetting you.
Oh, you can't do that, yes.
Although you actually can if you're in a meeting say, let's hold on a minute.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting a little tense right now. Let's take a second and think for a second.
Yeah.
You can't do it in a group meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But you really want to pause. Give yourself a micro break there. But if you're by yourself, literally say it out loud and see if that helps. But you also want to try, during the day, we tend to just go. I'm sure your day starts super early, much earlier than mine.
Tuesdays and Thursdays only.
But we on any day, we tend to just get up and we just plow through the days. We aren't giving ourselves natural breaks.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of want to take micro recoveries throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
Every 90 minutes or so, take a 3 to 5 minute break. And I already hear people saying, 3 to 5 minutes. I don't have 3 to 5 minutes. Try 3 minutes. Time it if you have to stretch, to move, take a drink of water. Maybe take a little nibble of an apple or something like that. It really makes a difference on how we are set up biologically.
Yeah.
You want to move. Our ancestors moved a lot. They had to survive. They had to get food. They had to chase down threats. So biologically, we're still the same, and yet we're not moving. So it's no wonder that all those stress chemicals are building up. So we really want to take micro recoveries. When we think about taking a break, what do we think about? We think about going on vacation.
Right.
But we're not taking breaks during the day. We really don't do it. Think of when you walk around an office, people are just heads down. And when you look at people in grocery stores, they're working and working and working. We want to really take micro breaks, micro recoveries. Think of them as your body recovering. Be nice to you.
I like that. Even if that recovery, you said stretch, move, it might be a little 2-minute meditation that you might do.
Yep.
Anything like that. But I completely support that. I think I do it all the time. So I completely support that for sure. One of the things that you hit that was really important was thought patterns.
Yep.
And, you said one of the things just you might catch yourself doing or thinking, saying something to yourself. Again, that's reinforcing that narrative.
Yep.
But breaking the thought patterns is so important. And I say it on the show all the time, that our thoughts, our beliefs are just thoughts that we have over and over and over again. And the same kind of energy that we're using to have those bad thoughts, we can use that same energy for the stop it. Stop those momentum of thoughts and put it towards positive thoughts. Just change the flow. I can do it. I am capable of, I will get this done.
You just took some of my notes off my page.
Oh, well.
So positive self-talk. And challenge yourself to, we sometimes talk to ourselves in a way that we would never talk to a loved one. Yes. You'd never talk to your brother or your mom or a friend. You'd never say, oh, you can't do that. I'm so dumb. You would never say that. So check yourself, listen to yourself, audit yourself, and first say, is that true? Is that true?
We do have a call. I'm so sorry.
Great.
I didn't know the caller was actually there. I thought, okay, let's take the caller real quick. I'm so sorry, caller. We only have about a minute to take your call here. Good morning. Thank you for calling the Buzz. You got to pop your headphones on, Heather. Is our caller there?
Yes, good morning.
Oh, good morning. How are you doing?
Oops, sorry.
Okay, and you?
I'm good, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead with your
Well,
comment.
I have a comment.
Okay.
When it comes to stress, depression, and anxiety, the government needs to control the cost of living so that stress, depression, and anxiety does not destroy the future of our young people. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you know, caller, I'm pretty sure you've previously shared these same sentiments as well. So I know that this is very much on your mind, as it is with a lot of people on their mind. And yes, the cost of living is a huge contributor to stress in Cayman. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, and I appreciate your thoughts on that.
We only have a minute left, Heather. We don't even have the minute left, but I'm going to give you a minute here. They can yell at me later. If you just want to wrap, if you want to say anything about the caller's comment and just wrapping this segment, what you want people to walk away with, how they can get in touch with you.
I appreciate the caller because those big picture stressors are a part of our everyday stress. It's not just what we're dealing with in any given day. It's the big picture, of course, is relevant, and I appreciate that call. I just want to thank you. Thank you so much for having me here today, Kathy. It's always such a pleasure. I feel like we could have a whole day together and just chat, but it's just a pleasure. And just my last tip is just remember to be nice to yourself every single day. Ask yourself every morning, what can I do to be good to me? What do I need?
Love it.
Thank you so much.
Get in touch with Heather Lockhart. She has the Clarity Hub. And you also said it was coming out of an office. I forget the name of the office.
BHAC. We're over at Hospital Road Plaza.
Thank you. All right. 9 a.m. a little later than 9 a.m. headline news. And then I got my last segment coming up.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Radio Cayman headline news. I'm Jevi Ebanks. Search efforts for Corey Brown and Amilcar Smith, missing since their 20th of October fishing trip from Cayman Brac, were suspended at 3 p.m. on Wednesday due to deteriorating weather conditions around the sister islands. The Cayman Islands Coast Guard aboard patrol vessel Guardian conducted a targeted search based on drift modeling, supported by aerial surveillance from the Jamaica Defense Force. Earlier operations focused on a 495 square nautical mile area identified with help from the U.S. Coast Guard. Both men are aboard a blue 24 to 28 foot long vessel along with a single 100 HP engine. Aerial searches have yielded no sightings. Due to rough seas, local fishermen were not asked to assist. Search operations will resume when conditions improve. In regional news, Justice Ronnie Badusing was sworn in on Wednesday as Trinidad and Tobago's new Chief Justice, succeeding Justice Ivor Archie. The ceremony was conducted by Acting President Wade Mark following constitutional consultation with the Prime Minister and opposition leader. Badusing pledged to serve with humility and dedication, thanking Archie for his leadership and contributions. With over 30 years of legal experience, he served as a prosecutor, lecturer, and judge, and holds advanced qualifications in dispute resolution and judicial education. Guyana's Agriculture Minister, Zulfikar Mustafa, says he expects updates soon on 4 Guyanese nationals feared dead after their fishing boat sank in the Saramacca River near Suriname last Saturday. Suriname police received reports of crew members seen floating on ice, but local searches have been unsuccessful. The National Army Marine Corps and police are assisting. The boat owner's wife confirmed her husband and 3 crew members are missing. Mustafa said the situation is concerning and hopes Surinamese authorities will locate the men. An official statement is expected once more details become available. That's your latest headlines from the Radio Cayman newsroom. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
HSA's orthopedic clinic has relocated to the 2nd floor of the Smith Road Medical Center. Our dedicated team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons treat conditions ranging from spine to ankle injuries in adult and pediatric patients. We offer minimally invasive procedures from ligament reconstruction to hip and knee replacement. If you have experienced an injury due to sports or day-to-day activities, call 949-8600 and schedule an appointment with HSA's orthopedic clinic, now located at the Smith Road Medical Center.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and I want to thank our guests that have come in so far today. We've had some great talks with Autism Cayman with Heather Lockhart from the Clarity Hub, and she was talking about managing workplace stress. And if you can remember some of the tools that she spoke about and that I mentioned, breathe, get up and say stop when you know you might be doing something negative or having a negative thought pattern or something might be bad. If you feel something might be getting tense, a little bit uncontrollable, you can say, hey, let's just take a break. Let's step back from this for a few minutes or revisit this tomorrow, or, maybe when temperatures might have cooled down a little bit, right? So there's some great tips that she did give. I love having Heather on. I can't wait to have her on again. Always a great person to talk with and just so insightful. So right now I'm welcoming on the phone, we have from Island Girl Beauty, we have Neyesha Watson. She's the owner of Island Girl Beauty. Good morning. Welcome to The Buzz.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
No problem. How are you doing today?
I am very well, thank you. And how are you?
Pretty good. Can't complain. I'm a woman. I love my beauty products. So I'm excited to hear about yours.
Oh, lovely.
Tell me about yourself. Tell us about Island Girl Beauty. What started the company?
Well, I am Neyesha DaCosta Watson, and I started Island Girl Beauty, I would say officially in 2018, but it was way before that, trying out different stuff, testing the products, using them on myself and the family and friends until it morphed into something that I wanted to share with the public, And it all started from me just trying to change the way I ate to a more plant-based lifestyle. And after that, I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to change what I put on the inside, I'm going to also change what I use on the outside. And so, the whole idea came from me and my daughter. We just decided to go into the world of natural skincare. And that's basically a little bit of how we got started with Island Girl Beauty.
So what is about natural skincare? Like, why go that route instead of, I guess, unnatural skincare?
Yes, because you know what? I believe that, almost you should be almost able to eat what you put on your skin. If that
makes sense.
Yeah, because, okay, for instance, turmeric, right? We make that all the time for tea. It's a part of, how we cook, a spice, a flavor. But it also has great benefits for the skin. So lighten the skin complexion to help you even out uneven skin tone. It has many, many benefits for the skin. And so when you look into natural skincare, like your skin is your largest organ, right? And whatever is going on inside of your body almost immediately shows on the outside. And even when you look at Chinese medicine, that's how they most times, back in the day, how they diagnosed issues that people were having on the inside. They could look at your eyes, at your fingernails, at your skin, like they could tell just by looking at your skin what's going on inside. And so, natural skincare, it is only natural for you to think that way and to move that way. And people who use natural skincare see the benefits of it. All you have to do is just to be consistent. Because when you buy something at the pharmacy, it has all these chemicals. And yes, in 5 days, you will see big improvements on your skin from using a steroid cream. But yes, they tell you after 5 days, stop the cream because it gets the skin thin. It changes certain things on the skin. But when you have a turmeric bar soap, you can use it until the day you decide to stop. There's no risk factor to using a natural bar soap or a natural body butter on your skin.
So a lot of people think, okay, well, when it comes to soap, for example, so creams I'm down with, but when it comes to soap, and I might be one of those people that are like a little bit more skeptical because maybe we're not coming out smelling as fresh as expected, or perhaps that freshness doesn't last as long as we are used to with perhaps using a major brand named bar soap, for example. So when it comes to the skeptical people like me, for example, with that, what could you say to us that would convince us or, give us a little bit of a different perspective to go from?
Well, yes, I do get you. And it comes right back down to what you're used to, right? And so I wouldn't necessarily call it skeptical. I would just call it habit. You're used to buying an over-the-counter bar soap, and you can smell it in your car driving home. Like that box, you can tell the scent. Like you can walk in somewhere, a lobby or someone's washroom, and you can smell the bar soap. You can tell exactly what it is without even seeing the bar soap or seeing the box. It comes back down to your smell, and because it's just senses, right? Mm-hmm. You can smell a fragrance and remember when you were 5. Mm-hmm. Like it brings you back to that point of where you smelled it for the first time or who you smelled using that. So it's all about habit, why we kind of put these two things together. But in reality, if you should stop using, let's say you have a health condition and you can't use a certain soap anymore. Let's say even you got pregnant and the scent of a certain bar soap, you just can't take it, right? Now, you start to use something more natural with lavender in it to like calm you down. After the pregnancy, you realize, this wasn't so bad. Like, I love the scent of lavender, right? Something made you change, right? So it's just the same exact thing that we look at when it comes to natural skincare. You may not walk out the shower smelling like soap is still on you. And there's a reason why the scent of a soap is still on you.
But are we still clean the same?
Of course, you are even cleaner. You
Oh.
are absolutely cleaner. Oh, yes, because soap is made with butters, oils, water, and a chemical called sodium hydroxide, right? That morphs the oils and the butter and turns it into a bar soap. What we do in the natural world is only use those ingredients. The other chemicalized, industrialized bar soaps use every single thing that you can think of to keep the scent strong, to keep the bar very hard, and just to have it a way that you have to keep coming back to use it because of the smell, right? But our bar soaps that are natural works just as good, cleans your skin just as good as the over-counter bar soap, even better, because it can be used as a head-to-toe bar. You can use one of my bars to shampoo your very hair. You can use it on your children, you know, so it is much, much more natural. It's the better approach. It's healthier for the largest organ that you carry around. And it's just the best thing to use on your skin, like natural products. Like, you just can't go wrong.
Neyesha, I'm so glad that you broke that down, because I think that's where I was getting at, was there is that, okay, but am I going to be as clean, right, using a natural soap product, for example? So I'm glad you broke that down and told us what some of those ingredients are, and then what's the difference with, you know, the natural process as opposed to the bit of an unnatural process that might be with the way bigger brands that are out there. Okay, interesting. We got to hit a commercial break right now, but when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation.
Parents, if you're navigating the world of boarding schools, it can feel overwhelming. Dorm and Day are here to help. You don't have to do it alone. Whether your child is reaching for new academic challenges, looking to shine as a competitive athlete, or simply searching for the school that brings out their best, Dorm and Day are your trusted educational experts located right here in Georgetown. For 10 years, Dorm and Day have helped families just like yours to find the best fit schools with one-on-one support every step of the way. So why stress when you can have an experienced partner by your side? Visit dormandday.ky or call 936-3676 today. Dorm and Day, celebrating 10 years of opening doors to brighter futures.
Summer's heating up and the water's calling. From cruising the coast in your boat to riding Yamaha Wave Runners, Automotive Cayman will get you ready. We offer expert servicing by Yamaha certified staff, as well as engine repairs, performance upgrades, engine and electrical installation, and more. Need it tuned, cleaned, repaired, or race ready? We'll keep you running smooth, whether you're riding waves or racing them. Trust Automotive Art for expert service and upgrades. Find us on Shedden Road and follow us at Auto RKY on Instagram and Automotive Cayman on Facebook.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Wait, why is she going into that spooky house? Who's that creepy old guy? And where are her friends? Why is she going in the basement? Nothing good is down there, sis. I bet you the creepy caretaker did it. Did you see his fake eye? Okay, maybe not the caretaker.
Hush.
You hush. I'm solving a mystery.
We're like the person who doesn't ruin the movie. CG Brinke. Good like that.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. And on the phone, we have Neyesha Watson. She's the owner of Island Girl Beauty. And we were just hearing a little bit about her brand and what inspired her to start Island Girl Beauty. She helped get rid of one of the skepticisms I had regarding one natural beauty product. So I appreciate that, Neyesha. And right now, I want to know all about the products that you do have. So what do you do have on offer? What does Island Girl Beauty carry?
Well, we have a lot. We have bar soap, we have body butters, we have body oils, we have lotions like our famous lemongrass lotion. We have a hand and body wash that's also lemongrass. One of our newest additions that we absolutely love, and it's been one of our best sellers, one of our best launches that we've ever done in the skincare world. And it's one of a kind, and it's only found in Cayman, and it's the first of its kind. It is.
I'm like, drop it. You keep using these adjectives. Drop it. What is it?
Yes. So it's our Caymanite seawater soap.
Interesting.
Right? Very interesting. So it is a bar soap that we use our beautiful Cayman Islands seawater to make. So we go out there in the ocean on the boat. We find the prettiest, clearest, bluest part of our ocean that we can find here in Bontown, and we fetch the seawater, and we come back at home and we make a bar soap from it. And what's even more interesting is that this bar soap that we make from the seawater, we mimic the colors to look like our beautiful Caymanite rock.
Okay, lovely. Okay, so that's hence the name there. Okay, I like that. That's interesting.
So yes, and this is so beneficial for your skin because like the seawater has so many minerals in there, right? And we have some of the best seawaters in the world. Mm-hmm. No pollution is in our water, and so it has zinc, iodine, potassium, sulfur. It feels like silk against your skin. And right now, it's one of our biggest selling bars. We launched it in Easter in April of this year. We did a major video shoot for it with Jerome Bodden, who is amazing. He put the concept and everything all together for us with the shoot to launch it. And we had Jody Lee Brown, who did the narration for the video. It's on our Instagram page, and it's literally been one of our best sellers amongst local and even visitors. Like, visitors love our Caymanite bar soap.
Well, I think that's awesome. It sounds like a really good gift as well to give to people.
It is.
Yeah, it sounds really awesome.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, you spoke about when you first started the company, what you were doing. You were just kind of making some products for yourself. And you were testing on yourself. So I want to hear about the development and testing side of things, because that's a lot of behind the scenes work, and you have to do a lot of testing to see if it's really going to work. So can you tell us what goes into developing and testing a new product before it does hit the market?
Well, testing, again, you know what? It is plant-based, and most of the testing that we do, we test shelf life. We test, how the product sits on the skin. We test how long the product lasts. We test what's the best time to use the products, whether it be day or night. So the testing phase, my entire family and friends were my little guinea pigs. It's all on us. So, for instance, I would like to make a lemongrass lotion. And so I get the formula together. I test the stability of it, and then I give it to friends and family. And I'm like, put the lotion on, go to work. Are you going to the gym? Put some of the lotion on. Like, are you going to a function? Put it on. See how long it lasts. See if the skin looks moisturized. If it, it looks nice and shiny. So, like, the testing phase of it incorporates all of that, just from making the products, having it at home in our bathroom or, in the AC to see if the shea butter gets too hard to apply on somebody's skin. Do we need to put a little bit of oil in it? Should we only have people keep it at room temperature whenever, they purchase these things from us? So, yeah, all of that goes into the the testing phase of the product and the development of the product as well.
And where do you produce your products? Where do you make everything?
Everything is made at home here in my kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Yes, everything is made at home here in my kitchen. One of my biggest dreams is to have a dedicated workroom, and my husband is working on that as we speak. But yes, everything is handmade in small batches here in the kitchen.
Do you ever think about scaling?
Yes. yes. A lot of times, but you know what? IGB is so personal to me. I want to ensure that I do it justice. And I think I have been doing it. And so I want to, do it in phases. Mm-hmm. And so to be really, really comfortable when I'm ready to make, a certain move. So for right now, it's just keep on going to building the brand, launching new products. Like we're about to launch Neyesha and Neyesha the 21st of November, which is next month.
Island Naturals?
It's called Neyesha and Neyesha.
Oh, Neyesha and Neyesha. Oh, I thought you said Island Nature. Okay.
Neyesha and Neyesha is going to be a children's skincare line.
Okay.
Yes, and Niall is my grandson, and ever since he was born, we never used anything on him that was bought at a store. It's always Island Girl Beauty. And so we've made his bunky cream, like his from shea butter, and we've used our soaps and our conditioner bars and our shampoo bars on him. And now we're developing a line dedicated to children from 6 months all the way to teens,
I think you've hit a great market right there with that, because a lot of parents are concerned. For somebody like you who was concerned about what you're putting in your body, if it's going to change with food, it's also going to change with the whatever you're applying to yourself. It might be perfumes, the lotions, the body oils, the soaps, shampoos. So you made that switch for yourself, and it's that kind of thinking that when it comes to the children, grandchildren, that influences how we're raising the kids, right? And what the toxins and chemicals that we're introducing them to. And so many parents are interested in chemical-free, all-natural skincare lines for children.
Correct, and it goes back to your previous questions about, how do you convince someone to use it? And I'm like, it's habit. So if you have a child that's 6 or 5 and they're using IGB products and they grew up on smelling our lavender or a chamomile, and they grew up using these products, it'll be a while or take whatever it takes to have them switch, because they're used to using natural skincare products that works for them, and they can remember the scent, remember how the bars look, and when they have children, they'll introduce them. You know what? I've used this all my life. It's benefited me. These are natural products, and I'm going to put you on to it too. And so you carry on the generation of using natural skincare products,
I love it.
Yeah.
The feedback that you've gotten from customers, friends and family, those that you test on, what has that been like, and how has it shaped how you're offering your products to the public?
It has been nothing but amazing and sometimes surprising. And I say that to say this because of our natural deodorant, right? We launched the natural deodorant like a year and a half ago. And just last week, I was by Foster's and someone came over to me and they were like, your deodorant has changed my life. I used to have pimples under the armpits. Everything irritated me. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. And our deodorant in Cayman now is almost viral.
I have to try it out, because I'm going to say something for sure. I believe in the natural products, but Cayman is a place that y'all need to wear your deodorant. And in saying that, I've done the natural, I've tried it, and it's been a no. But I'm going to try yours. I'm going to test it out and see what it's like.
Yeah, you should. And perhaps a lot of persons are skeptical. And I always say, do a detox. And we have a turmeric mask that we recommend. You get a small turmeric mask. You use the mask under your armpits and you detox. While you're at home cleaning, you're washing.
Okay.
put it on and detox the armpits, and then you use a natural deodorant. But it's a game changer. It's a life changer. The natural deodorant is becoming one of our best sellers, and we get compliments and feedback on the natural deodorant almost every day.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
And the detox, I think, for the armpits, I think also is very interesting. But I bring it up because, that is a concern people have, and we always hear about it, right?
Yes.
But also deodorant, the big brand name ones, we know that they do have a lot of chemicals and have been linked to quite a bit of disease, including breast cancer. And so it is something that, us people who might be a little skeptical of it have to keep this in our mind. These are the alternatives that are out there. And there's nothing wrong with trying and testing things on yourself to see, okay, how does my body adapt to this? I got a final question for you because we're about to wrap the show, but I want to know where people can buy your products. Where can they get Island Girl Beauty from?
Great. So we're at the farmers market every Saturday across from Red Cross, or regular farmers market. We're there every Saturday from 7 a.m. till around 4 p.m. We're also available at Bedside Manor in Camana Bay. We are online as well, and we deliver during the week. And so, you have 3 convenient ways of getting Island Girl Beauty. Oh. And we're available on DM. We're available on WhatsApp. We love answering questions. We love to communicate with our customers. If you have any questions, feel free to send us a DM or a WhatsApp message or call us, and we'll answer any questions that you have,
So give the number and then your social media handles.
Sure. So it is 917-6504 or 925-2151, and our Instagram is at Island Girl Beauty with 2 Y's on the end.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us on the show this morning. And Farmers Market, I guess you're going to be seeing me because I said I'm going to test out the deodorant, the mask for armpits as well, which helps you detox. Yes. And I'm a lover of body oils. So when you said you had body oils, I was rubbing my hands together like, yes. So I'm going to check that out. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning on The Buzz. It was great to have you. And for everybody else out there on this still a beautiful Thursday. It was when I came in. I've been in the studio for a couple hours, so you know how the weather's been changing. Do keep an eye on the weather. We do have, everybody knows that Tropical Storm Melissa has been formed. It had slowed down a lot. It's hanging out in the region. I was trying to ignore it as much as I can because why are you trying to ruin our Halloween? But this is what's going on. So stay tuned to Radio Cayman. I can tell you that tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m., the weather service will be on For the Record. As well on For the Record tomorrow morning, Minister Miles will be on to talk about the immigration transition bill, I believe. I believe that's what he's talking about. Well, you are now, Mr. Miles. So there's that. And then we also have, I believe it's Customs and Border Patrol that are going to be coming in on For the Record towards the end of the show as well. So that's going to be a full day tomorrow. I know a lot of people are wondering about the storm. Stay tuned to Talk Today this afternoon as well, because I am sure we're going to be talking about that as well this afternoon. Thanks for hanging out with me today on The Buzz. I will be back with you next week. And everybody stay safe, stay prepared, and just, keep your peace.
The Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. And Automotive Art Cayman, your car, our passion. And by Dorman Day, celebrating 10 years of opening doors to brighter futures.